Do you want to know how to ascend? I'll tell you. In this video, you will have the answer to that, and you can put it into action and make it happen for you, and only you get to decide. You ready for this? Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing, wonderful life. What is that? This is temporary. We're knowing contrast. We're understanding what we aren't, but can be, right? This is not the source of what we are. It is the exploration of that source. Do you want to go to the new earth? By the way, I just want to say something right now. That people that I can tell when you don't watch my videos and you see the title when I talk about predictions about the end of the earth, this is blah blah. You didn't watch the video. This is what humans do. We come to judgment constantly without really understanding anything, and we're walking around like that. You cannot be limited like we are as humans unless you're in this human body. It allows us to be dense creatures, to experience the contrast of what we are. And we can't possibly know that unless we believe we have limitations. That's all you're experiencing. The depths of everything that we are not, so that we can understand what we are. And it's pretty darn amazing, but we're not enjoying it and we're not making best use of it. So we go deeper and deeper into it, believing that we are the limited creatures and that we are separate. And we oppose one another, and we're not going into that which we truly are and come from, and that is unconditional love. Everything you see around you is your test. That different colored person, that different educational level that somebody holds, that person who speaks differently, the culture, the religion, all you. We're all one. But it appears to be different because this is a test. This is the experience. Would you like to go into the new earth? I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. Are you ready for this? I want you to answer this question. How does one behave in the new earth? What happens there? How do we treat one another? And what is the whole structure? What's the whole foundation of the new earth? Well, it's unconditional love. As human beings, right? No one truly has the answer of how that's going to work, but I know it's a higher frequency. It's the fifth dimension, possibly beyond. In other words, we are going to function on a completely different level, and the higher frequency means that we are no longer connected to pain, struggle, anger, density, blame, judgment, all the lower frequency experiences. So my question to you is, are you behaving in any manner whatsoever that is not compatible with that? In order to be in the new earth, I should be able to pluck you out of the new earth as that enlightened, awakened being, put you here, and you would behave no differently. Just because you are in density and with the lower frequencies does not mean that you should act any different than you would in the new earth. That's how you go over there. I'm going to take you here and put you here because this is the test. That's what it is. This is your test. Can you be in the new earth when you're walking around in density? The Mayan calendar, they didn't get anything wrong. It was the ending of density and the opening to the Great Awakening. That's all it was. Only people have misinterpreted that. They were in a completely different place. And we as human beings, we could put all kinds of endings to this and end of the world, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Nothing ever ends. Pull out of the stories, the density, the fear, the blame, the poor little me, the victimization. Pull out of all of it. There is nothing wrong. There are no problems. There are just choices. If I put you as the perfect, awakened, loving, unconditionally loving person, if I pulled you out of the new earth and plucked you, put you right into this, how would you act? There should be no change. That's an awakened person. You can be awakened if you're up in a monastery going, and nobody's bothering you and you have food delivered to you. It's how you're going to act here that determines that. And I don't need to go into the details because you know what it is. You know if you're judging. You know if you're being nasty. Nobody wants to be around that. No New Earth person will want to be around your nasty mouth. Right? So don't do it. Are you criticizing people? Backhanded compliments. Oh, well, you look good today. Wow, you got dressed up for a change. We do it all day long. Are you going into that space? It's about you, no one else. Not the government, not the health system, not the illness. All of that's just part of a test. How are you going to behave during all of this? There's no blame. Do you respect others? Can you put your ego aside? Because, I'm sorry, but you're unending. And so whatever you do here, you carry with you. So, it doesn't matter how you depart. There is no such thing as death, so get over that one. It's a shame a lot of people are going to have to leave. Yeah, and they're just transforming into something else. There's no death. Yay. People get sick and they leave their broken bodies. I'm not seeing anything bad about that for those who choose. They're choosing it. They're choosing to participate in something that's happening on this planet so that we can change. We all have roles, but you get to choose. So the question is, what part of that change are you participating in? Still the problem? Still believing what's going on out there? Or creating it? It's an individual choice. So this is the thing about the New Earth. The New Earth is an individual choice. It's not one thing that happens for people or it doesn't. I'm probably living in, and you could be living in a completely different world than other people right now. Because you just see it differently. You're not exposing yourself to the garbage and pulling that into your energy field. Everything's energy. Cannot be created nor destroyed. So everything just shifts and transforms. I must be the New Earth light now in this in order to go to that. And we don't have to make a list because you know what it is. What are you doing right now? Are you afraid? Are you hoarding? Are you keeping things? Because you receive what you give. Everything's cause and effect, all of it. Because whatever you do is your order to the universe because you are the universe. It is not a separate thinking thing that decides whether or not you get something. You're either doing it or you're not. It's either happening or it's not. There's nothing to attract. You have everything right now. All of it. All of it. And so if you go into things that challenge you, that's part of it. That's part of what you are choosing to allow you to evolve. Because you can't be awakened unless you're challenged. You can't know awakening unless you're challenged. You can't know loss until somebody dies. You can't know love until you meet somebody amazing. Or maybe somebody who's not so amazing. And then you know pain. And you know distrust. And you know all these things. You get to experience that as a human. Not to be judged. You get to experience it, so it doesn't mean you're not awakened. Your reaction to it is what determines where you are in your frequency, and that's it. That's it. It's not what's going on. It's not whether you have money or not, or if you're in a good relationship or not. It's all part of your experience to make the highest choices. What are you going to do? Are you going to be a victim? How many of you are out there are blaming your spouse? Yeah? Get your act together. Go take care of yourself. Get yourself and your kids out of there. So I'm like at this point where all I'm going, don't write me with a sad story. My assistant's gonna take those emails anyways. I don't really handle this stuff anymore because it's more of this, if you watch my videos, I'm gonna tell you the same thing over and over again. And everybody will benefit from those answers. But everybody with me, it's about me, my problem. I need to talk to you about my problem. You're walking around with the power of the universe flowing through you that's equal to everybody. No one's above another. Only the frequencies change within that. So if somebody appears to not have power, they're choosing to be powerless on a lower frequency. That's it. They're choosing it. This is not some place you are trying to get to. It exists right now, and you either are it and you behave that way in the most challenging of circumstances, or you stay here and work it out until which time you will go to whatever. Come back again. It's up to you. Am I functioning like a New Earth person? You got to watch every thought. Anger, frustration, judgment, blame. The government, give me a break. Oh, you act like that's something we haven't. We're the ones doing it. We're the ones choosing that. So I told you, these companies out there that are destroying our planet and pumping their crap into ponds or lakes and oceans and rivers and putting their crap up in the sky, can't do it unless we're buying their stuff. Every choice you make. And there's going to be some that are tough because sometimes the choices aren't really that available. So you have to work with what you got. As highest possible choice you can make at that moment. Don't beat yourself up. We're transitioning, so we're having to clear out a lot of this stuff that's going on, the things that we use and how we use them. We're educating ourselves. If you use anything that tests on animals or harms them, it's a choice. It's a choice. You will experience that pain. So you don't get out of it. It doesn't go away. That energy field is with you. We will experience the pain of choices, educated choices, and now you know better, right? You know better. So if you make a choice with that knowledge, there will be consequences, not punishment. Cause and effect, it's not going to feel good. I don't want to live in that world to you. You don't have to. And by the way, when you go into that space of the new earth, you will shift other people because now they're going to feel that higher frequency, and we've already hit a tipping point. But it's not a mass. In other words, it's not the majority. It can be. No one has the answers to anything, not as human beings, and possibly not even when we go over, until we go back into that perfect place. But we're experiencing contrast, and it's pretty amazing. Don't miss out on that. Don't battle it. Don't go into fear. Fear is working against you, and when you go into fear, you're actually opening the door for it. Right? They say like attracts like. Like is like. You don't attract it, you are it. So if I go into a room, I'm in that room. If I go to the penthouse, I'm in the penthouse. I'm not in the penthouse if I'm out down in the cellar, if I chose to go in the cellar. It's that simple. I'd rather be in the penthouse, drinking champagne. You get to choose. Nobody else is responsible. Oh yeah, poor little me and mommy and daddy. Took on a big challenge. What are you going to do with it? Yay. Okay guys, do me a favor. If you want to stay on my channel and watch more things, see if you're subscribed. For some people, for some reason, people are being unsubscribed when they didn't do it themselves. Check to see if you're subscribed. If you haven't been, please subscribe. Share these videos. You can post them anywhere. Those of you who want to take the internet training workshop, come over and see if this is something you want to explore. Expand your knowledge. No more judgment, blaming, this is that, naming. Do or don't. Be whatever. It's your individual choice. Allow others to make theirs. All right? Come on over and take some of my courses. LandriaOnkka.com is my spiritual courses. LandriaOnkka.net is my business training that anybody can learn. No more limitations. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious and happy. This is all you right now, not something you need to seek. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.